Hi guys. Okay, today I'm going to show you how to create a web application. And I'm going to create this web application with, we're actually going to create it twice, and I'm going to create it with two different technology stacks. First of all, I'm going to use Java, thereafter I'm going to use .NET. Okay, so for the Java side, what I'm going to use is a Maven-based project, and one of the quickest way to scaffold and create this project is to use a plugin called JBoss Forge. Okay, so let's get started. So the shortcut in IntelliJ, which I'm using, and you can use Eclipse or the command line, etc., is to Control Alt and the number 4. Okay, so new project. Going to create this project in temp, and we're going to create it in sample web app. Okay. And we just use the default example, or example will be fine for now. Maven war file, that's fine. Finish. Okay, it'd be nice if IntelliJ imported the project. It doesn't. So let's import it now. So we close this current one. Oops. Import project. Dtemp sample web app. And what we're looking for is the POM file. So this is our project definition file, let's call it. Okay, next. We're going to use Java 8. Next, finish. Okay, so we're seeing this little error. That's unfortunate. I think it's related to the JBoss Forge plugin. IntelliJ is not behaving that nicely, but I'm ignoring it for now. 2 or 3 hits of the Control L4 and it always brings up my my Forge commands. Okay, so now with the project created, what we're going to do now is create a new JPA entity. Okay, so JPA entity new. We're going to pick the defaults. We can go for the latest and everything. I'm actually going to be using JBoss Wildfly, which is a Java EE7 container. But let's pick everything. It'll work fine with these for now. We're going to use the existing data source. So this is basically a pre-configured database that exists as part of the JBoss Wildfly installation and older versions of JBoss as well. So we're going to drop and create the table. Okay, next. Type, and we're going to call it person, let's say. Table name is the same. Finish. Okay, so now we've created our command. We're configuring our JPA just to keep IntelliJ happy. Okay, so now we've created our JPA command, or JPA entity, and what we need to do is add some fields onto this. Okay, so again, bring up Forge, and we're going for JPA new field. Okay, so the new field is going to be called name. Column name is name, and finish, and we'll go again and we'll create this time address. So new field. Okay, finish. Okay, so now we've got basically our name and our address fields already created, and you see there are 2 columns. So our JPA is set up now. Now thereafter, let's build the project first of all. So a few ways of building it. Given it's a Maven project, we can just choose the standard Maven build lifecycle, or if you still want to live in Forge, you can press build. We can actually build the project this way. Okay, it gives you a few more options with arguments, but effectively it's the same thing. Okay, so now let's scaffold this. So what we're going to do is create a REST endpoint. We're going to use REST Easy. I mean, this is provided with the JBoss Wildfly container for one, and we're going to use Hibernate as the JPA provider. So in order to do this, Control Alt 4 again, and type scaffold. Scaffold generate. Okay, so we're going to use AngularJS as opposed to Java server faces or whatever it is called. Don't really use it, don't know much about it, and don't want to learn it. I know Angular, so let's choose Angular. Okay, we'll pick the defaults, different versions of the dependency injection, EJB frameworks, etc., serverlet versions. They're all fine. We can bump them up to the latest given we're using Wildfly, but no, let's continue the way we're going. Click next. This is the the JPA I want to scaffold, and I also want to generate the REST endpoint or the web API if you're coming from .NET World. Click Finish. Okay, so now basically we can build our project. Build. Okay. And we can actually now deploy this project straight to JBoss. Okay. Now let's use IntelliJ to do that. So we'll go for Edit Configurations. We're going to go for New. We're going to go JBoss Server. We're going to go Local. And trying to remember my password. Okay. If we want to attach our JavaScript debugger, we can. Well, let's do it while we're at it, and it's giving out. Why is it giving out? It's because, okay, so we're saying that we're actually going to connect to this JBoss server, and it's a local server and everything, but we haven't said what we want to deploy, and we want to deploy what we're just after building. So if we click on the Fix button here, it gives us two options. The Exploded is basically the uncompressed, the unzipped version of it. So let's just pick this one to start with. Let's give it a better name. And click OK. So now we can actually just run this. If I press debug, it might have been a bit better because we could see the debugger attached, but okay, it doesn't matter. Now let's hope it appears on this screen. Okay, so starting up. And we have something flashing. Okay. Okay, so here's our application. It's scaffolded. And here's our person. People. Let's create a new one. And we create Brian. And address. Click Save. Create another person. That's my dog, by the way. Save. Okay, so now we can actually see that we have a web application running. We can actually do a bit of searching. That's not as bad as it seems. It's an acronym, but okay. So basically, there we have it. Our application from 0 to running in a container in how many? 7 minutes. We're going to repeat the same now with Visual Studio and see what's involved. We're not going to use Angular because we're going to use the built-in scaffolders just to get us started with, but it kind of shows us the same approach. So we'll create the same project per se. Okay, stay tuned for the next post.